Because someone told you that this is the way that we have done it forever, this way of eating, for example, doesn't mean that is the way that we should be eating. So, for the last year or so, I've been eating roughly, in average, what the hell is this? Once a day. And I want to share my experience so far. I started back in May of last year, and sometimes I eat a snack, sometimes I don't. And my intention here is to talk about my experience doing that, what I've learned upon this process, and also the discoveries that I came across, of course, because hindsight is 2020. I didn't know at the moment, but after doing this for a while, I learned a lot of things, and trust me, I learned a lot. So, without any further ado, let's go into it. For over 35 years, I only knew a way of eating. You need to eat 3 times a day. You need to eat your breakfast, your lunch, and your dinner. You need to eat a lot of carbs, bread, pasta, rice, some vegetables, some meats, 0 fats. That's what I knew. And for the majority of my life, more than 35 years, I've been overweight. So I got into this because I wanted to save money. Let me be clear about it. I just wanted to save money, and that's why I got into this process of eating once a day, because I thought, am I right, that if I eat less, I spend less. The issue is that I wanted to do it in a way that wasn't going to be unhealthy for me. I wanted to do it in a way that I didn't want to gain more weight than I had. At the moment that I started, I was weighing about 125 kilos. I had a lot of issues, not just the weight itself, but I had issues with pain, I had issues with discomfort, I had issues with, I couldn't sleep well, you name it. So how do I got into this? Well, in my life, I ate like everybody else does. So I ate my breakfast, I ate my lunch, and I ate my dinner. Back in 2015, I tried honestly for about 6-7 months to lose weight. I managed to lose 10 to 15 kilos, but I ate 5 times a day in little portions. I exercised a lot every day for about 30 minutes, high intensity, and that drove me to lose 10 to 15 kilos. But that wasn't attainable. That wasn't something that I could maintain for a long while, because it took too much money to do the grocery shopping, to get to eat 5 times a day, even though you eat in little portions. Is too expensive for me. At least that's my experience. After those 6-7 months, I started to snack, I started to let myself go. I couldn't maintain the exercise. The exercise that I was doing was watching someone else do exercise on TV, and I mimic what they did. For some people that worked, but I got bored. I will talk about that in a bit. I couldn't maintain the lifestyle. I couldn't eat 5 times a day. I started eating more and more and more, and then I gained all the weight back, and I was fatter than I ever been. Maybe not as fat as when I arrived to Australia, that I think I was weighing about 135 kilos, but I gained all the weight back that I lost. Let's fast forward to last year. I knew a little bit more about eating habits. I knew a little bit more about what the carbs do, but I didn't know too much about it. So I get into this process and I discover keto or keto, or this thing in which you eat fat, and you eat more fat, and you eat all the fat in the world, which by all means, in the usual understanding of how you need to eat, fat is the fucking devil. But even though fat is the fucking devil, I discover, after a lot of research, after a lot of videos, after a lot of research again, that it wasn't really the case. So I started cold turkey. I didn't, put myself through the paces, like, okay, let's do it first for just 2 meals a day, and or maybe 2 meals and a half a day. No, I just started right off the bat. Let's go ahead, let's mix fasting with keto, and let's see what happens. Because to be honest, once you eat once a day, you're fasting, so you are depriving yourself of food. I started doing that, and on the first month, the back pain, and I had a lot of acne on my thighs. I had a lot of acne on my glutes, on my back, on my face, on my forehead. It began to disappear. After a while, my back pain, my shoulder pain, it started to go away. Not completely though, but a ton of it. I could sleep better. I started losing weight, and the way that I was eating, many people tell me, but how can you eat just once a day? Don't you get hungry? And to be honest, no, you don't. For the past 2 weeks, I got back with the percentages of how the keto diet works, in which 70% of your diet needs to be fat, about 15 to 20% of your diet needs to be protein, and then the rest, a bit of carbs, a ton of veggies. That's the proportion. So on the first 6-7 months, I did that. I did fat, I did a little bit of protein, I put a ton of salad, and I lost 20 kilos without even noticing. I wasn't getting hungry. I just ate once, and then to think about eating again, I really didn't feel like it. I was just full, and 6-7 hours went by after my meal, and I wasn't hungry. And if I, by any chance, I got hungry, I just grab a bit of nuts, a bit of peanuts, I drank coffee, and that was it. I didn't eat for the rest of the day until the next day. And I was doing fasts that were 20, 22, 23 hours every day. The less of them were 16 hours, and I managed to drop my weight to about 95 kilos. That was back in May, July this year. So, of course, like everything else, you become complacent, and then I love protein, I love chicken, I love beef and everything else. I started eating more protein than I should, and then my process stopped, and that's fine. I can tell you that by eating once a day, I'm more focused, I sleep better, I have no more acne, I have been able to maintain my weight for the longest time in the weight that I want. So much so that I've been able to buy clothing. These pants are new. I just bought them the other day. I wasn't on this size, which is 36 waist, forever. I think I haven't been 36 for over 20 years. And whenever I fell off the wagon, I like eating. I do my cheat meals, of course. I love a burger. I love French fries. I think I'm addict to them, so I stay away from them pretty much the whole week, but maybe once I eat them. I can control where I want to be, and not just thinking about what my next meal will be is something great. I mean, the idea that you can just eat once, prep for that food once, and then forget about it, and then focus your attention into my content creation, into my work, into my workout, to be focused and fulfill, and to be in a great attitude with the best humor is something amazing. I mean, not having pain, of course, with the workouts, it got way better because I have straightened the fibers and my muscles. Is something beyond belief. I cannot believe what I am right now. If you asked me back in April, May last year, hey Mike, you're gonna drop about 30 kilos and you're going to be the fittest of your life, and when people get to know you, they will think you're 7 years younger or even 10 years younger than you are right now. I would say, what the fuck are you talking about? Because you are lying to me. I used to work out watching other people doing workouts in video, right? On YouTube or whatever. I came up with my own way. I work out pretty much every single day, 3 to 2 days in a row, and then one day I rest. But the key for me is do the workout where I watch something that I enjoy, and that has taken me to do exercise consistently almost every day for the past 6 months. Something that I have never ever been able to do apart from when I was a swimmer when I was 15, 16 years old. Eating once a day, yes, is something that we can do. You don't suffer from hunger, you won't die. It's something that has worked for me, and I feel the best ever. Do your own research, find out what's the best way for you if you want to do this. The outcome out of this is the best shape of my life, and I'm getting better at it. The best economics of my life, because I don't spend too much money on eating food. I save a ton of money. And the best part is that because someone told you that this is the way that we have done it forever, this way of eating, for example, doesn't mean that is the way that we should be eating. So I invite you to do your own research to see what works for you. If you feel that you're overweight, that you want to be able to be fitter, that you want to be able to go ahead and feel stronger, to feel more focused, do your research of what is exactly keto, but there's a ton of information that you can find online here on YouTube. So without any further ado, thank you very much for being there. Thank you so much if you're a subscriber and you have seen me for the longest time. If you're not, please subscribe. Thank you. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my crib. This is me, El Coco Mike, and I create content talking to you about my experience in my route, in my path to be financially independent, to be able to retire early, and trust me, saving money on food to invest it and being on the best shape of your life is a good way to retire. So thank you once again. Have a lovely day, and as always, sayonara!